Sorry about that. My other phone just died that I normally stream on. I had to switch devices. So I hope those who were in my original stream will come find me here, that they'll see that I got kicked off. So I will wait for a bit. There you are. Sorry, I had to switch devices because my other phone just decided to die. So, our power banks didn't keep it charged. I even switched, but anyway, I went to my other phone. So that's a good thing I have two of these, because I have a backup plan. So I was hoping that you would all find your way back here. So I do apologize for that. Once this second bit gets uploaded, I'll just re-edit the title to make it the same as the original one. And I'll just label it as a part 2, and I'll label the other one as a part 1. But again, I do apologize for that longer interruption. Make a slight adjustment. There we go. Oh, good. Good. Thanks for doing that. You know, Aletha, I might have to modify you. I don't think I can do it. Nope. I can't modify you here. But I can add you at another time, so I will modify you. I do like having a good number of mods. That way, if some aren't available, others are. And yeah, they're having mods. Not that I expect any issues, but mods can post links in chat. Mods can kick troublemakers out. And hey, Jay, thanks for dropping in. Sorry about my earlier stream got interrupted. I had to change phones because the other one went dead on me. But see, Marilyn has a blue wrench next to her name, so she got modified. And I will do that to Aletha later. And Jay, I may modify you too. And no, it won't be a genetic modification. But in fact, in one chat, I let a new mod put me in timeout just as a practice. And people weren't sure how a timeout affected the person being put in timeout. So when the timeout ended, I said that the timeout has ended, how long it lasted, what I could not do and what I could do. When you're in timeout, you can still watch, but you can't chat. So that was a good practice for that mod by that person putting me in timeout. Oh, that's okay. Well, consider that a practice. Yeah, I was just looking at the options on my phone screen. I could report, I could put in timeout, and I could remove, but that's it. And I didn't want to do that. Dang, this cod crew's good. Even though it's really cooled down, I would definitely get this again. Because this was really good. And Norwegian rations, at least the ones I've had so far, and the ones that I have watched others do, they are absolutely awesome. Oh, so much for the cod curry. Yeah, is big chunks of cod, probably some of them, some of them were maybe bigger than this piece of oat biscuit. Yeah, this is a Tupperware tray. I have had this for like 30, let's see, I bought this in 83 when my high school class was having a fundraiser to build up the money for a senior class trip. And we had a Tupperware party. So I bought this tray along with a couple other things from my mom. And we took a trip to St. Louis in the spring of 1984. And I had only taken it out a few times since then to picnics or other events where we needed to bring our own tableware. But it didn't get used for quite a number of years, but I just kept it. And then when I won my first MRE from Sticky Finger 745, I decided that, most other reviewers have a tray. I got a tray. I can do this. So I did. I used this tray for that first review, and then I was using that exclusively until I bought the grain one that I sometimes switch to. So but I chose this one because these freeze-dried mains make so much. And if I were to do a Mountain House entree, just a straight-up one, I would use this because, some of those would probably make double the amount that this one did once fully hydrated. But that dark green one came with a cup, 2 small cups. I'm going to dip the biscuit in the cocoa. I've done that already. So this is really good doing this. But I'll use the green one if I have a smaller main or I have a bunch of other items to open up. Say, for instance, when I did the HDR, the Humanitarian Daily Ration, I used that green tray, and I was able to put both mains in the center section, which is about, say, this wide. And then I put everything else in the other sections. And I just keep my cups off to the side. They're out of view, but I can just easily reach for them. But I do have a third tray. I have two silver, the steel round ones that I found at a thrift store for 99 cents each. I gave one to Steve Brahms, who goes by the name of Willie among his family and friends. At the Country Prepper Memorial Camp this past spring in March, I gave that to him because someone had given him some MREs. So I was teasing him about needing a tray for those, so I took him a tray. And I have the duplicate here. So I have seen one other YouTuber use one of these, but I think he switches off between that one and some other trays. This is where a sticky label was. But I have not used this one. But I just thought these are so cool, and I wanted to give one of them away, so I did. And so he has it. And I don't know if he's ever used it yet, but when I gave it to him, he said, "That's so big enough I could put a steak on it." I said, "Yeah, maybe a porterhouse." You can buy the foam trays that are probably maybe a third smaller than this, that are compartmentalized. They're rectangular. You can buy packs of those, and those are great for like if you're doing just snacks or just a variety of foods. And of course, they're good for kids, because there are kids who do not like one food touching another, but of course a lot of us really don't care. I mean, I don't. I mean, I had some of my Maine from last week get into my spiced apples, but it didn't bother me. I didn't care. But I will probably, I don't know if I will use that round tray for review and then give it away. I'm not sure. I haven't decided that yet. I had thought about getting some more of these Tupperware trays. I have seen them occasionally in the same thrift store where I bought that 6-inch cast iron skillet. One time I saw a USGI mess kit in there, but someone grabbed it before I did, and I thought, "Oh, that's cool that someone else saw some cool item and decided to snap it up, and I'm sure he enjoys using it." Or maybe it brought back some fond memory that he wanted to treasure. But I have a British mess kit, but it needs some work before it's in a usable condition. I got it off of the Minotaur Trading Company site, and I think Bob might still have a few more of those, and it came with a pouch. And I showed that in one of my earlier videos of a Minotaur order where I pulled that out. I have washed it. I have not tried yet to remove the rust. I got some hints off of a Ration group on Facebook. So I will eventually try a couple of different methods. I might try one method on the larger pan and a different method on the other one and see how they both work. But it looks pretty old. I could not find any markings on that one, but I have Polish mess kits. I have 3 different ones. You know, the green one that looks like the old East German or Russian, Soviet type. But it has a Polish on it. I have one of those. I have a couple of different Scout type Polish mess kits, and then I have a Polish aluminum canteen with the wool pouch. And I got one of those Scout mess kits, and I sent it to Sticky Fingers in a trade, and then he sent me that heater meals, which I did a video on, and have to go way back. I think it's been like a couple of years now since I did that, and one of the items in there had gone south and messed up everything else. But I didn't know that until I got the box open. And I had to spend a lot of time cleaning that up. Of course, this was before I got into doing live streams. I was doing strictly videos. But I spent a lot of time cleaning that mess up. And it was still cool to see that. But it was still a good trade. I'm going to take another bite of this Choco Crisp bar. I do plan on at one point doing another giveaway. That will be ration related. But I haven't decided what yet, but I will do a ration related giveaway. And it might involve not only a ration, but I do have an extra one of these foreign emery sporks that has never been used. It's not only in the original pouch that a cloth bag that it comes in, it's still in the original Ziploc plastic bag with the foreign emery sticker on it. Just like that sticker. And I have an extra one of the MRA Nation red mugs. One was sent to me as a gift because an order got misplaced. And it was eventually found and got filled, and that was sent to me as an extra freebie. But then I also bought one, and I have used it. So I have 2 of those. So that will be given away along with that spork. And then but there will be other items. I just don't have them yet, and I don't know what other items. I'm eventually going to work on that. I don't know if that'll be like when I reach a certain number of subscribers, or if it'll just be some random place giveaway. Maybe what I might do is do a custom ration, just get a bunch of stuff together of my choosing, put it all together, and then seal it up. I did that when I made up a couple of custom rations and sent one to Gundog and another one to Old Smoky. I was able to get a clear ration bag, like ones that are used for the halal MREs or the Sapaco emergency rations, like those low sodium ones that I reviewed. They're in the clear bags. Of course, that one that I got had no writing on it, just like the tan one had no writing on it. But I used my flat iron to seal those shut after I filled them. And so that worked out pretty well. Basically, you'd fill them like you're playing Tetris, like you're putting a puzzle together. So since I don't have any more of those bags that have never been used, I'll probably just use, say, like a big Ziploc bag that an ORP accessory kit would come in. Those are pretty sturdy bags. I do have a few of those, so I may use one of those. I don't know. I'm just kicking ideas around. But that'll be something that I'll decide how I want to make the giveaway work. In my previous giveaways, all the entrants' names get put on strips of paper, and then to do the draw, I just dump them on the floor and try to get my cat to paw at one. And the first one that my cat paws at is the winner. So I've done that twice. So Mila has picked the winner. I don't know if I'll do that again, or if I'll do something different. I had to coax her to start pawing at those strips of paper. Of course, another idea is, this kettle here just has that small opening. I could put the names in here, and then the first one that falls out when I dump it could be the winner. That would be no way to cheat with it, I guess. I don't know, but like I said, I'm still working on that one. But I got, or I just might buy a ration that I've already reviewed and give that one away. Just like I gave Aletha the extra MCW turkey tetrazzini that I had. Or I could just buy, say, one of these Norwegian rations. Or say if I buy a ration that I want to review, but then I'll buy a duplicate and give that one away. I could go that route. I'm just not sure how that's all going to work yet, but, in time that'll come. But next week will be another freeze dried. It will be, and unless I decide to grab that pizza MRE that I got from All MREs, I could grab that one instead of the first of the Minotaur Arctic field rations with the freeze-dried mains. I could go for that pizza one instead of doing 2 freeze-dried ones in a row. I could go that route. And I also have that big Russian 24-hour vegetarian ration. And according to Nina, I bought that one off their site before they put their video up that they showed of the contents of that particular ration. So I had my order in on one of those before they put the video up, I guess. So I was the first one to buy one of those. I bought it sight unseen. I just read the list and thought, oh yeah, this will be fun. And that thing's a beast. That one almost literally fills up the bottom of my ration box. I can put, just laying it down, I can put one small ration, like one of these, or one of my All MRE's rations, or I have a First Strike ration, but when I packed all the other ones up, after I got those plus the one that I got from Jack of Trades, I took this one out and I took the First Strike ration out, and this just sitting out in the open. It's a 2019 First Strike ration, by the way. So I have all those in that box. So I'm good on rations for the time being. And but I'll get 3 videos out of that Russian one. And the First Strike ration has chicken chunks in it. And I think I'm going to do something different with that. I got an idea with that. And I may just do that in a video instead of doing that live. I may open it up live in a stream, but keep the chicken chunks out and then do a separate video on that, plus using the idea that I have for it. Because when I saw that, oh yeah, I can do something different with that. So I'll probably do that. Because the chicken chunks, they're not sauced. I think it's just chicken with some broth and probably just some basic seasoning. No sauce or gravy or anything like that. Just basically it's pre-cooked, so obviously, but you can eat it like canned tuna. There's no ration heater in a First Strike ration. So I'll basically just eat it right out of the pouch. Well, this is the First Strike ration. That's the energy gel right there, I think. But this silver retort pouch here, this is the chicken chunks. And there is a Bridgeford sandwich in here. But this is the chicken chunks, and I got an idea with that, but that'll be in a separate video when I do that. Let me just put that right there. But yeah, I got some other ideas going, and of course, I want to build up a bunch of foreign rations again. And if Minotaur has any more of their mystery boxes, I may buy another one of those and just use those as a base for doing some more ration mashups, because I think next year I'm going to do that again. If I can build up enough rations of different countries as well as American rations, I can do some more ration mashups like I did this year and last year. And I don't know of any other YouTuber who does these mashups in the way that I did. I think they're enjoyable to do. It's fun trying to put meals together with components of different countries. Just like those packages that I put together for Gun Dog and Old Smoky. So I'll do something like that again next year. But I could take, maybe instead of reviewing this, I could take elements from this First Strike ration, use those in the mashups, along with the other stuff that I'll get. And just any doubles, because I have a good selection of drink powders, I got coffees, I got teas. So if I can get a bunch of just mixes of items, I'll do that again next year, because I think that's so much fun to do. I just want to do it again. But my chat wasn't showing up for a while. There we go. Oh, cool. Tracy is good people. He sent me some goodies that I've been wanting to get but wasn't able to at the time. Of course, CT has hooked me up a couple of different times. Yeah, I have never had a complete MRE Star MRE. I've had the MRE Star components, but I've never had a complete MRE Star MRE. And I've never had any of the AmeriQual civilian, like the APAC. Of course, I've had the low sodium Sapacos, but I've never had their regular civilian ones, so I don't know how much different those are. I think there are a few videos of those, but the APAC ones I've never had. The MRE Star full ones I've never had. Oh, and of course, CT, Canadian trucker, he drives all over the U.S. as well as Canada. And I think his last video, he was in Texas. I don't remember what town he was in or near, but he was in Texas in his last video. The Minotaur mystery boxes, the $75 ones. That's where I got most of those pizzas from. And they're the Sterling pizzas, not the Bridgeford ones. Oh yeah, I mean, these rations are meant for high activity. Especially ones that like you get one that's like a single meal ration is like 1,500 calories. And then if you triple that, for especially in cold climates, you need more calories. And probably some of that you'd have to increase your fat a little bit. But in warm weather, you would need a different nutrition, especially if you're very active. So, and of course, you get the mores if a soldier is very active. So you get this for a day, but if they're issued the mores, the modular operational ration enhancement, they get those when they need extra calories and nutrients in order to keep their performance level up. I gave Aletha the set of mores that I had. I opened them up, showed them on camera, but I didn't eat any of those. But I wanted to show them, and of course I had the ones that Black Dog Bob had put together, and now I have the Arctic one. The Arctic more that Bob had put together. And I looked through it, and it's more compact. See, this is the box. And these are nice boxes out, by the way. So these would definitely there is not much room for anything else in here. See, that's how well packed this is. It's a couple of coffees, couple of sugars, couple of creamers, and then a cold drink and snacks. So that's what's in this. I don't, I was asked at one time if I keep a lot of MREs, and I said, no, I pretty much eat all the rations that I get. I mean, I have a bunch of extras like peanut butters, jellies, jams, drinks. I don't, I'm not a regular gum chewer, but I keep all the gum. I obviously save all the matches, and like you get Canadian rations now, you get a little packet of 4 Tic Tacs, so I have saved all of those. I mean, pretty much anyone who is familiar with those candies knows what those are like, so I don't even bother. I save all those because they're a hard candy that won't melt in the heat. Not, unlike this. So I save those. And all the Smarties, like the little colored discs. Not the Smarties that look like M&Ms that you might get in Canadian rations or British rations. But I save those Smarties for the same reason. They don't melt like, say, like a Jolly Ranchers or some of those types of candies would melt in the heat. You know, those Charms candies that were in brown bags and I think MCIs. Those are supposed to be a hard candy like a Jolly Rancher, but over time they just turn to absolute mush and they're just no good anymore. And Steve 1989 has a few videos of those not Smarties, but the Charms, how they just absolutely went south over time. Oh yeah, that's that is when, yeah, Latha, that is when something like the Jackery power station or Anchor makes one that's like that. There's one by All Powers or a few different models. There's, I think, there are several brands of those power stations that you can either plug into a wall to charge them up or plug into, if you have an adapter to plug into a vehicle, if it has the right kind of socket in it, commonly called the cigarette lighter. But you can use that socket to plug in a device to charge it or power it if you have the right kind of adapter plug to fit in there. Or if you have solar panels, you can connect to it. That would be one way of, say, running a CPAP during the night. And my oldest sister uses a CPAP, and that's one of the reasons why when we go on a family camping trip every summer, we use a cabin, because she can plug her CPAP into the outlet on the wall and run it. Yep, that's right. You eat what you store and store what you eat. And so I've been working through my older canned food. Like I have a couple of cans of cream of mushroom soup that I haven't used yet, but I use that in a recipe. And I've used, say, like 2019 cans. I have a bunch of canned spaghetti sauce, and I have canned fruit. I have some cans of apple pie filling that I would just open that can and eat it. I mean, it's just like the spiced apples that I had in that MRE that I had last week. I mentioned that it's just like eating apple pie filling. Yeah, it's spiced just like that. But I have cans of fruit that I will be getting into. They're like 2019. I've eaten all of my canned chicken and canned tuna from before 2020. I don't have a pantry here because of the size of this apartment and the way it's configured. And I don't want to put food in my storage closet because it's right next to the bathroom. And it would get warm in there. And I put in a thermometer. See, like this one that shows the humidity. See, that 42 is the humidity. And that, I put that in there, let it sit for a while, I'd go in there later and look, and I'd see the humidity like 68%. So because I don't have a pantry, I got food in my bedroom. I got my buckets all around here. I got buckets in my bedroom. And I got food all over this apartment. So eventually I will have to go to a backup plan, and I'll have to talk to someone local about, say, borrowing space for my bucket so I could get my buckets out of here. Yeah, that's good. The previous place I lived was bigger, but it was a second floor, or no, it was actually third floor. And I had to go down to the basement to do the laundry. And that was starting to get to me, so. Plus, there was some other stuff going on around there, so I decided I had enough of that place, and I left it. So I'm here, but someone local said, at one time, if I need to, I can get my buckets, at least some of them, out of here. And I completely filled up 2 more probably a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week and a half ago. One with beans and lentils, and another one with what I call meals and entrees, like Mountain House bags. I have some other brands of pouched, freeze-dried food. I have those in there. So I filled that one completely up, and I've added more to a rice and grains bucket. I have buckets with powdered milk, powdered eggs. Then I have buckets for like my dried fruits. One, like dried vegetables, which I've dehydrated myself, plus ones I bought. Oh, James, you mean your car? You said for my care. I'm pretty sure you mean your car. But at least I hope so. But oh yeah, wow, that is a great milestone, Aletha, to be cancer free for 10 years plus. That is awesome. Yeah, it's great when you can have something like that. So to feel good about. Not everybody has that, but I have had relatives. 2 relatives got breast cancer. They got theirs caught early enough, and they kicked that cancer to the curb. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I when I was working as a home health aide, I had patients of differing levels of disability. And I would not have done some of the things that I had to do without having that Hoyer lift right there to move the patient from the bed to a chair or in or out of the bathroom. And I did it by bus. Yeah, I knew someone who, many years ago, I knew someone who operated a chair like that. And then some others had a controller that was right next to the chin. And operated it that way. Yeah, a Hoyer is, I think it's a brand of a lift and it's a hydraulic lift, at least the ones that I've used. And then there are some that are powered. You just secure the person in the sling and then just turn it on and use a controller to move it. And then you drop the person where that person needs to be, and then you just unhook the sling, and then you're done. Yeah, those Hoyers are not cheap. Then I went to one apartment or one house where the lift was actually incorporated into the ceiling like a hospital curtain track or a track light, but it had a track for the lift to run on, and it's one of those powered ones. Now that's probably like 25,000 easy. And that thing ran throughout the house, if bedroom, the bathroom, and I think one other room. I don't remember, but it was quite a long one. Oh yeah, and that's pretty much how my back got jacked up, was from moving patients without the aid of a lift. And when you're there by yourself and you're shorter than the person you need to move, yeah, that's where my back issues come from. Of course, I think my arthritis came from some of that too. Now, I didn't get into it till like 2002 is when I took the class for the first time. And then I got hired in 2003. But the agency wanted me to turn in mileage like a driver would, but I kept telling them I can't do that because I ride the bus. And sometimes I have to take 2 buses to get to the location. The timesheets only have space for 1 pair of odometer readings, and I'm not going to be nipping odometer readings off of buses. Plus, that wouldn't account for any distance I walk from the bus stop. Oh yeah, in fact, I still own a gate belt. I bought one for myself because the agency was getting low on them, and I just wanted to buy one anyway, just to have a spare on me in case a patient didn't have one or it broke or whatever. Then I would have a spare. So I still have that thing. And in fact, I would actually wear it myself just to keep it handy. That way I wouldn't have to dig into my bag to get it. I could just take it off because I get into the house or apartment. I would put it around my waist and I would just have it handy. That's what I did. I thought about using that as just a regular belt, but I don't have pants that have belt loops that are wide enough for that belt to go through. Otherwise, I would probably use it as a regular belt. I could use it to, I have a BB plinker, and the pouch that I keep it in has molly straps on it, so I could hang it off of that belt, and I know it'd be sturdier than just a regular nylon clip belt that I've used. Or, just kind of put it on, see how that worked. But I'd probably think I'm weird using a gate belt as a as a belt to hold something like that, but it'd work because the molly straps would be more than long enough to have that belt go through. Oh yeah, that would be a real big annoyance. Now it's not easy. I've never been that way, but because we both have worked with people who are in that situation, and I've had a relative who was like that as a result of a stroke. At one time, speaking of belts, I took judo, but then the dojo moved away from an area that was close to a bus stop, and I was not able to get rides over there, so I just stopped that. But I have the yellow belt from when I was trying some judo, but that was way back in like 90. That was back in 1990 when I was doing that. And the lessons were paid for, so I got that free. But I still have the belt that I got, because I went up from white to yellow, and that's as far as I got. I enjoyed it. I just, I don't think that would be good for my joints right now. So, I have 3 sisters too, but I pretty much stayed out of their mess when they were getting into it. In fact, my brother's younger than me. I tended to kind of stick up for my brother. Yeah. He's 4 years younger than me, so he turned 50 in July. So I'll be 55 in January. So next July, my brother will be 51. But my 3 sisters are all older than me. Of course, earlier this month we were out at a local Culver's here in Des Moines for my mom's birthday, so we sat outside and ate our frozen treats, and one of my sisters wanted to shoot pictures, so we used my purse and another sister's purse to prop up the one sister's phone, she wanted the picture on hers, and then she would just pass it on. But so he used my purse and another purse to kind of prop it up so that it would stay put at the right angle, and then used the timer setting on the camera, and that worked. Oh, Letha, that's probably not very rare these days. I mean, look at, our current president has a son who's probably old enough to, or young enough to be his grandson. I don't remember how old this young man is, but I think he's young enough that he could be a grandson, These age differences are not all that uncommon these days. Dipping a piece of the biscuit in my coffee. So it's gone cold. I don't care. I'll finish it. Yeah, I'm still thankful I still have my mom. She's 77, and my dad died in '08 from cancer. In fact, he died on Veterans Day. He was not a veteran, but we had people in our family who did serve, and he had buddies in the different places that we've lived or he's lived that were in the military. And he used to go fishing or hunting with some of these people back when we were a lot younger. And so he was able to hold on long enough to make some contacts, to say his last goodbyes, and then on the Veterans Day in '08, he died peacefully in his sleep. I was at work, and I got the call, and then I told my client that I had to haul tail because my dad was about to go. And then I called the office. I got to get out of here. My dad's about to pass, and I need to get over to the hospice house where he spent his last night. And so my brother called a cab, but the cabbie got lost trying to find the dang place. So I got there, but he had already passed when I got there. But I'm glad I was able to at least get away. And then I called the office later and said that I need to take my bereavement leave. They wanted me to not to take it, but I said I have to. It's my right. It's the employee's right to take a bereavement leave when a close relative does pass. And And fortunately, it was a Friday, so I was not scheduled to work the weekend, so I got 2 extra days. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I did not work, but I went back to work the following Wednesday. So I'm happy that it worked out that way, that I had those extra 2 days just to, you know, just hang out with my mom, because she needed all of us together at that time. And of course, last year we got her into her own apartment. And so Mother's Day, we spent Mother's Day over there, and one of my sisters went and got some food from a local fish joint. And so we hung out there. And in one of my Walgreens shopping hauls, I showed a couple bottles of a particular antacid that my mom likes because it works the best for her. And I got the only two that the store had, so I sat on them for a while. And then later I was able to give them to her. And it was a good thing because she was not able to find this particular one. And so that's a good example of why we prep, because we can help out someone else. So I gave those to my mom, and that will hold her over for 2 bottles of it, so that'll hold her over for a while. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Oh wow, I'm sure that was some hard time. When the night before my dad passed, he wanted to go into a hospice house. And so we were able to get that taken care of. They came and picked him up, and my mom was allowed to spend the night with him in that room. And after he passed, these people at Kavanaugh House, that was the name of the hospice house that he was at, they said, take all the time you need, and then let us know when you want us to make the call to have his body picked up. And my dad was donated to a cancer research center called Genesis, the same place where my maternal grandmother was taken after she died in August of 2008. So they came down to Arkansas to pick her up. And then here in, of course, Kavanaugh House, they came here to pick up my dad. And then they do a full autopsy. They take samples of the cancer cells and they study them. And they also do treatment research there. And they pay $600 to the donor relative for final expenses. So my mom got $600 twice, and she used that to go for either to buy the urn or to pay part of a funeral expense or the actual burial. the plot was already in, the plots were already in existence. They didn't have to be paid for, but the urn, had to be paid for, and the funeral itself had to be paid for. But that $600 really takes a big chunk out of those expenses. So that is awesome that Genesis does that. Well, that was good that you got that taken care of, Aletha. That is awesome that you didn't have that big load hanging over your head. Well, and she deserved to have that done. Putting in all that time, she deserves nothing less. So that was very awesome that they did that. That's the way that whatever. At least you're able to find out about it, and you didn't have that to worry about. Oh, I suppose she wanted to protect you all that way by not revealing that. I suppose some people probably would have that ability, but they just choose not to. Now, of course, after my dad passed, he had one credit card that only he had access to. He was the only one who used it. My mom didn't use this particular card, but they kept wanting my mom to pay the balance when that's illegal to actually do that. So one of my sisters got my mom a lawyer, and we showed them what for. Oh, yeah, no doubt. And of course, they wanted to, this credit card company wanted to deny the validity of the death certificate, which is stupid. Wow. So I guess she was prepping for you guys, Aletha. Yeah, I'm sure that was hard. Of course, then my mom had to fight to get the Social Security death benefit because someone at Social Security didn't want to accept the death certificate either. But, I mean, it wasn't a whole lot more than my dad's Social Security was not all that much more than what my mom was getting after they both retired. But she did eventually get that. Now that's good that you still had that. So that was a good backup plan. Ooh, I'm going to do something that I had not done yet. I'm going to dunk this bar in the cocoa just for the heck of it. Dunking it in the coffee too. Oh, that's good. That's good that he was able to get all that. And, because my maternal grandmother's second husband served, she was able to get benefits as a result. And when he got Alzheimer's, the VA paid for his nursing home care. And when he died, they covered, I'm not sure how much of his final expenses, but he got good care in that nursing home that he was in. But when we were kids, we used to go to, we didn't go very often, but we had gone to the PX on the Offutt Air Base. Offutt is the big air base in Omaha, Nebraska, for those that are not familiar with it. But those are the only times that I had ever been on a military base, was when we went to the PX at Offutt. Oh, there is Plum Bob. Thanks for dropping in. This is way in the second. Yeah, I've been just letting this one run longer. I'm actually on my second stream because the first phone that I was streaming on, that one died. For some reason, it wasn't drawing power from my power banks. And then I plugged it into my computer, but it just died. So I have a second one. So I got it going. That's why the title of this one just says like Ration Review 2 or something like that, but I'll edit the title later. But you're looking at an empty tray because I ate all the cod curry, and I just finished off the Choco Crisp bar. And I got these broken oat biscuits, so I will nibble on them. And this chocolate bar, as you can tell, it literally fell apart when I was opening up the wrapper, but I dropped a couple pieces of it in my coffee and just let it melt. Oh, it was delicious. It had the cod pieces were probably, let's see, maybe around this big, but more of a square shape. Or maybe some like this, but they're average about that big. And there's bits of carrot. And the rest of it, I think, was like mashed potatoes. But there was some onions, some garlic, and turmeric. I don't know all the ingredients. I didn't try to read it, but the yellow definitely screams of turmeric to me. Turmeric is like the poor person's saffron. But the curry was not overpowering. The cod rehydrated very well. I mean, I just wanted to scarf it down. It was that good. And for those that are not sensitive or allergic to fish, There we go. This is an awesome ration. If you like fish, if you like curry, a Canadian trucker, he did his last ration review in Texas. When he was down there, he had dropped his load, and I think he was waiting for another load. So he drives all over the U.S. as well as Canada, and he does keep rations in his truck because, he may get to a location to stop for the night, and he may not have access to any other food. So he'll grab one of the rations that he keeps in his truck, and he'll have that. And he'll do videos, and when he meets up with other YouTubers, the local gets him pizza. It's always pepperoni pizza from whatever pizza joint the local favors. For instance, if he came here to Des Moines, depending on where we meet up, if it's at a Casey's, and get him a Casey's pizza. He has had Casey's pizzas before, but I would be thinking more on the lines of either Big Tomato Pizza or Fong's Pizza, or we have one called Northern Lights here, and I've had their stuff. It's pretty good. And I've had Big Tomato Pizza. And Fong's Pizza does Asian fusion pizzas. So, and then, the two just, CT will record it. The chat that they have in his truck. And, that's pretty cool when he does that. Yeah, when you look for CT, it's a C space T, capital letters, and you look for a pink unicorn head. That's how you know it's his channel. So, like I said, if he were to come to Des Moines and meet up with me, then I'll make sure that he would get some local pizza. And not some chain pizza like Domino's or Pizza Hut or Godfather's. Oh, yeah. Or, definitely Casey's, because after all, Casey's is based here in Iowa. But they're spreading around the country. Yeah, he does. I think he's had like Casey's in 2 or 3 different locations. But if I got him a pizza, I would get a split pizza where one half would be pepperoni and that would be his. And then my half would be one that does not contain any like pork sausage or pepperoni, because that's, unless you buy the turkey pepperoni or beef pepperoni, it's usually pork pepperoni. But yeah, Casey's, I haven't had a Casey's pizza in quite some time. So, but I have to take a bus like somewhere on East 14th, I would have to take a bus just to get to a Casey's, and that's a fairly fairly long bus ride. Oh, Zombie Burger. I love Zombie Burger. Their fries are the bomb. And so are their shakes too. You go into Zombie Burger on your birthday, you get a free shake. Yeah, I've never tried Casey's delivery. Because of the big nasty, a lot of places are doing delivery, but I have never tried their delivery. Earlier this month, I just walked across the park and across the street that's in between the park and Tasty Tacos, and I went bought a couple of tacos and then just walked home to eat them. And I just got in the mood I just want tacos, and I'm waiting for Tasty Tacos to do fish tacos because I've never had a fish taco. Oh, yeah. 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 Any of you ever come to Des Moines, you gotta have the Zombie Burger, their burgers and their fries. And they have what's called the Drink Lab, where, well, their foods and their drinks have some unique names. And their decor on the inside is pretty darn funky too, but their food is pretty darn good, what I've had of it. I mean, heck, I just go there for the fries. Yeah, and there used to be what's called the Zombie Walk, and it was a charity thing, and it would start at Zombie Burger and then end up back there. And so I shot video of that a couple of years, and I even did my own makeup for that. But yeah, those were some fun events, and I got a couple of those on the video. Which is pretty fun to try to shoot video or a live stream. I think I was live streaming on a platform called Ustream, and I was walking with my phone on a selfie stick. Instead of carrying a tripod. And one day it was raining, but we didn't care. Well, I did not know that was here in Iowa. I have not been to the Field of Dreams location. I would love to go there. I just have not been there. But it would be fun to go to that place. Nope. Oh, okay. I was in another building when a film called The Puppet Masters was being shot. And they're shooting a helicopter chase scene, and all the streets had to be cleared. No one was allowed to be on the streets in a certain area of downtown. So I happen to be living in a building that is right on that area, but because the windows had a tint on them and the reflective coating, and I was so high up, no one could really see in. And because it faced west, the sun would be reflecting off of it. So I was watching these two choppers flying around like they're chasing each other, but it was all part of this movie. They were shooting this scene, and it was pretty cool to watch. And they used what used to be called the Des Moines Convention Center, which is on 5th Street and Grand Avenue. It's now the downtown YMCA. They used that building to represent the city hall instead of the actual city hall. Why they did that, I don't know. I guess they wanted something a more modern looking building instead of the real city hall, or they just didn't want to interrupt city government functions. So they chose that particular building for those scenes. Yeah, it's the building with the gray glass on the sides. It's on the corner of 5th Street and Grand Avenue. It's the northwest corner, and it occupies pretty much that entire block between 5th and 6th. Now that's where that building is, and it used to be the Downtown Convention Center, and I had attended some events there, and there was even a sci-fi convention there, where Star Trek is a Star Trek convention, and so there are a lot of, and I got to meet Marina Sirtis while I was there. Of course, when I was preparing for the move over to this place, I sold my entire Star Trek collection for like $100, including that book with her autograph in it, because I needed money for to cover some moving stuff. So yeah, a guy on a city bus bought my entire collection. Hi, sunshine. I've been going at this stream, including interruptions, for like probably closer to almost 2.5 hours, because I got interrupted with my phone that I started streaming on, decided to shut down, and so I grabbed my other one and I got it going. So I don't have much left on my tray. No problem. Yeah. Maybe you need a little bit of this. Oop. Our coffee didn't quite melt, but that's okay. I'll just scoop it out. Now this chocolate, obviously it's seen better days, but I dropped it in the coffee, but it didn't quite melt all the way, but I don't care. I just finished that off. But I got some of these bits of oat biscuit, which fell apart. They're busted in the package. So I didn't even bother to try putting this on there. This is basically like either a hazelnut, like a Nutella. Oh yeah, I just looked on the back. It's like a Nutella. It has the ingredients in like 2 languages, so it has hazelnut in here, but I didn't even bother to open this. But this is called nut cream. Oh, I suppose, Aletha, you'll probably want to hit the sack pretty soon. But got the lemon drink, which is same drink I had when I had the Norwegian chili con carne. And Steve from Traversing Food is so wanting this. So I decided that next time I get an Arctic field ration that has the lemon drink in it, I'm going to pull it. I'm going to substitute another cold drink, and I'll send that lemon drink to him. And this one also had that Regia cocoa. This stuff is awesome. Even cold, it's awesome. And the cod curry was absolutely delicious. I probably scarfed that down faster than I ate any other entrees. Well, most of them. I mean, all I wanted to do was just pig out on it. And there's the protein bar, and this one was the Choco Crisp. It's basically like a chocolate Rice Krispie bar, or cross between it and the cookies and cream cereal bar that you would get in British rations. Ooh, wow. I would so be all over that. I love the masala flavor profile. I've had the ORP chicken tiki masala as well. That is good, but I've never had the Norwegian version. That would be killer good, because garam masala is one of those spice blends that it's like curry. There are so many different kinds of the masala spice mixes, just like there are so many different kinds of curries. There's a yellow curry like this was. There's red curries. There's green curries. Yeah. Yeah, when I did, garam masala is kind of like, it's not hot spicy, but it's got so many flavors that complement each other. If you go to a Middle Eastern grocery store, you look for garam masala, you'll find probably several brands of it. And you can either buy the spices whole, like there's bay leaf, there's clove, there's several ingredients that make up a garam masala, but you can either buy the mix whole and leave it that way, or you can buy it in powdered form. Oh, if that chicken tikka masala, if it's, I've never had the Norwegian chicken tikka masala, but that, I think, if that's anything like this one was, I bet that would be killer good. But this cod curry, just looking at it before I put the water in, I knew it was going to be good. And, I could smell the cod. But, once I took that first bite, I thought, oh, yeah. I was all over that thing. Oh, euros. Yeah, you're talking Greek there. I used to work in a Greek restaurant years ago, and Euro Wednesday, and we used foam plates for that because we were slinging them out right and left like dozens at a time. We would probably put out like a couple hundred in the space of 1 hour. On our busiest Wednesdays, we did that. And everybody had to help with putting them out. I mean, I was grabbing the plates from the cooks, putting them up on the counter. You know, just to help get them up for the servers to take them out to the customers. And only when there was a lull, then I would, of course, I would do I had my salads pre-prepped. All I had to do was just wait for the dressing requests. Or if someone wanted a salad with a certain ingredient left out, then, I had those done ahead of time, or I could easily take something off. Say if someone didn't want the olive or the pepperoncini pepper, I could easily just take it off. But yeah, I was, we were putting those out like dozens at a time. Oh, I've had I think some of the best fish ones I've had came out of the tuna ones out of French. I've had a couple of different ones out of there. Those are awesome. And I've had the Spanish calamari. I've had the Spanish sardines. And I've had a mackerel. Those are good. In fact, I have one can of Spanish sardines that I'm sitting on. I haven't, I got that in my bedroom. The expiration date on that is probably still another year or two out. Or best buy on that one, but my mom had the same thing, Aletha. She went into the hospital to have a kind of test where they would put iodine in through an IV as a tracer, because on scan it would show up to highlight the area that they wanted to look at. And when they shot that into her, she just puffed up like a balloon. So especially if it's seafood like shellfish, lobster, sea crab, any of those fishes that have a high iodine content, even crayfish or crawfish or crawdads, depending on where you're at in the country. My mom has to be very careful how much of that she eats. James, I think, I don't know if he either got kicked out or he had to leave. I don't remember. Or he just stepped away from... Oh, there he is. I thought maybe you were asking, like, where is he, and did he leave the chat or what? But anyway, so my mom has to be careful about what kinds of seafood she eats. But freshwater fish, especially if it's catfish, bullhead, well, that's good, James. My mom is all over that. And we had we celebrated Mother's Day over at her apartment. She got catfish. I got catfish and clams. Yeah, deep fried. Yeah, if it's a freshwater crab, that might not be so bad, but the Alaskan crab. Oh, king crab. Yeah, I've been to places where we get the huge crab legs. Those are awesome. Well, it was 45 or 46 when I said what the temp was during Ration Museum stream, and then afterwards I looked at it when I was setting up for mine. It had gone down to 42. I don't know what it is now because my other phone is it's charged up, so I can probably turn it back on. But it's supposed to get down to like 33, something like that. Oh, dark matter. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, you missed my cod curry. It was so delicious. Got a few little, maybe bits to lick. But I got a heat affected chocolate bar. I finished the coffee. I got some oat biscuits that I'm just nibbling on. I got some cocoa left. I got some lemon drink left. But yeah, you'll just have to wait for the replay, I guess. Yeah, I don't get notifications all the time on channels I've subscribed to either. Or I'll get the notification, but it's like, maybe several hours when it actually shows up, if I get it at all. So most of the time I'm just looking for, half the time I'm just actually, I see it on my suggestions feed before I see a notification. Oh, thanks for dropping in, Bob. That was a Plum Bob's first visit to my stream. Oh, wow. Well, I'm probably going to be knocking off pretty soon here anyway. I mean, if you combine both segments, I mean, I'm already like 1 hour, 50 minutes here, and that other one, before my other phone decided to shut down, because it wasn't pulling power off my power banks. That one went about an hour. So, I just kept flapping my jaws. But in the first segment, Florina Marie dropped a $10 super chat. But I'm going to go ahead and shut down. But next week, I may go ahead and do the pizza ration instead of the Minotaur Arctic ration. So I'll change it up. So that's what I'll do instead. And I may pull this out too as well. This Arctic more that Minotaur does. But this one is a cheese pizza that all MREs has. And I first heard about it from Dub C. He had it. So I decided that I'm going to get one, so I did. In fact, I got 2 rations off of them. So the cheese pizza will be the first one of those 2. But I don't know when the first segment will be up for review for those that missed it, but I'll edit the title of this one later to match up with the first one, and I'll just put a 2 at the end. But anyway, I do want to thank you all for watching, even if you only made it for a few minutes and you're looking at an empty tray. But 7 o'clock U.S. Central is when I do this every Sunday, unless I got something else going on that takes priority, or something happens where I can't stream. But again, thanks all for watching, and catch you on the flip side.